What's up, Piper drivers? Welcome back to the channel. Today in the house, I got something pretty cool. I got the Disney exclusive Battle of the Heroes lightsaber box set. So in this box, this awesome box, is the Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker lightsabers that were featured in Revenge of the Sith. And it comes in this really awesome box set. So in this video, I'm gonna give you guys an up close look at the box. We're gonna open it up, check out the lightsabers that come with it, and see how the effects are on those lightsabers. And then I'll give you guys my final thoughts on it. So let's get to this. Welcome back, everyone. I'm sorry, but some of the original audio was damaged during filming. I am so bummed about it. I mean, look how excited I am right here. I wish I knew what was happening at the time. I would have been able to fix it. The good news is that I was able to salvage enough of the original audio for this video to make sense for you guys. So if you decide to hang out for the entire video, I appreciate it, and I promise it's going to be worth the watch. So let's get into the box design. Take it away, Jorge. This box set has kind of like a Mustafar design going on with it. I really love the look of the Jedi logo and how it's cracked there like that. You know, so this is, letting you know or giving you the impression that, you know, the Jedi have been destroyed. So the end of the Revenge of the Sith. So really, really neat. Right here you have some Arabesh and it says Battle of the Heroes right there beneath that. So that's cool. And then there's this nice clasp on the front, which looks very, very nice. And then beneath that, it says Legacy Lightsaber, I believe is what it says. Or, yeah, Legacy Lightsaber, L-E-G-A-C-Y. Yep. I gotta make sure I'm reading the Arabic right. So yeah, Legacy Lightsaber there on the bottom. You can see how it looks here on the side. Some more of that design carried on through the side. And then on the back, you have these really nice brass-looking hinges. Let's see if I can get it nice focus for you guys there. There it goes. So you got these brass hinges on the back of the box. So very cool. Let's crack this thing open. Plays music. This is nice. So this is that music that was played when Obi-Wan was speaking with Anakin there at the end, right? Where Anakin's already all burnt, you know? So that is really cool. All right, and then on the inside of the lid, it says 2,050 of 5,000. So they only made 5,000 of this set worldwide. It then says Battle of the Heroes Legacy Lightsaber set, and then an Arabic limited edition. And then there's some quotes from when Obi-Wan Kenobi was talking with Anakin or Darth Vader at that point, at the very end when he's all burnt. It says, you were the chosen one. It was said that you would bring balance to the Force, not leave it in darkness. And then it says Obi-Wan Kenobi, and it says, I hate you, which Darth Vader says right afterwards. And then he says, you were my brother Anakin, I loved you. And then that's Obi-Wan Kenobi. When you remove the top layer of the foam, this is how the lightsabers look inside the box. As you can see, it makes a really nice display this way. And then you have your two lightsabers. So you have the Kenobi lightsaber, which this one's a little cleaner, and it's very similar to like the lightsaber that just came in the box set with the Kenobi box set, where you actually got all three of them. It's metal, so it's heavy. It's got weight to it. It is a little bit chunky. And in fact, I'll bring out some custom ones that I have that you can sit there side by side and you can see the difference in the build. But let's just take a look at this as it sits right here. You can see very, very clean lightsaber. There is like no weathering on this whatsoever. So this is like fresh out of the factory lightsaber right here, like unused. All right, that's probably the switch right there. Yeah, that's your switch. And we'll put a blade in just a few. There's your pommel and where the speaker would be. Okay, and then you have your Kovatek wheel. And that's your design right there. I think it's a very pretty looking lightsaber, very clean, all right? And then you have the Anakin Skywalker lightsaber. This is the first time that I've had an Anakin in the house. You know, I have the Anakin, but I have the Anakin that we saw in A New Hope, not the one from Revenge of the Sith. So this is the first time that I have this one. So it's got a little bit different band around here, and then you have that electronic pad here instead of the one that has the bubble strip like I have for the New Hope. But very pretty looking hilt. Again, very clean. See, you got the button right there. That's not the button that activates it. I think it's probably the same thing like the, yeah. So your activation switch is going to be right there, and it's stiff. There's where your emitter is and where the blade will go. This pops out. Okay. Then you have the button on the bottom there. You can see it, how the grip looks there in the center. I like this pattern. This is very pretty. It's nice. Here's your switch. And then you have your T-grips in the back. Again, this is a big hilt. And it seems kind of stubby in the back. And we'll compare this to the New Hope one. I know it's not the exact same lightsaber, but you know, we'll just compare it just for size differences. Here's your Corvatec wheel, all right? And then your back of your pommel where you have your speaker. Okay? So beneath this is your swap out section. So the Disney Park versions of the Kenobi saber is going to have a swap out so that it can accept the blade. So it's much chunkier, you know, than you have this thin neck. And this is what it's going to be replaced with. You can see how much of a difference that is. There's how the emitter is there, and then that's the back where it plugs in to your bottom of your hilt. All right, and that's it. At the very bottom of the box is the speaker and your batteries, so you can swap out and replace your batteries right here, and then you can turn on and off the sound if you don't want it to play the sound when you open up the box every time. All right, let's put some blades in this. Or actually, before we put the blades in it, let me go get those other hilts like I told you so you can see the size difference, and then we'll take a look at how the blade effects are with this particular one. Okay, so here's the Kenobi custom lightsaber that I have. And you can see that there is a definite difference between the size. The Galaxy's Edge one here is much bigger than the one from the custom that I have. And look at the difference in size on the emitters, the difference in size on the grips. It's also weathering difference between them. There's your pommel side, so you can see the difference in size between that. The Legacy is just overall a lot bigger. And then we're going to move over to the Anakin sabers. Now, I know that these two sabers are not exactly the same. One's from A New Hope and one's from Revenge of the Sith, but you know, you can get an idea. One thing that I took note of here is that the switch for the one on A New Hope is actually on the opposite side of the one from Revenge of the Sith, and I didn't even realize that. There's not a huge difference in girth between these two, but you know, it's still a little bit bigger on the Legacy saber than it is on the custom one there that I have. And there's how the emitters look in the very front, and then you can see the way that the T-grips look on the back. All right. Let's check out the light up and sound. All right, let's start off with the Anakin lightsaber. Before we get into it, when you take and put the blade in, just like with the other Legacy hilts, when you put it in, it has like a sound effect that it plays when it accepts the blade. Hear that noise that it makes? So that'll let you know that it's been accepted. All right, let's turn it on. See what it sounds like. The switch is tough. It's got a nice hum to it. Not super loud. You can see that it has a step and a de-stepping when it comes to the ignition and de-ignition. So it doesn't do it completely smooth, but just like all of the other ones, that's what it sounds like. All right, let's check out the smooth swing. Yeah. I mean, it does it. Just kind of like a little bit delayed. But it does get it. I would say maybe like 8 out of 10 times it'll catch. All right. Let's see about blade clash. All right, so it gets it some of the times. Okay. There's no other button pressing or anything to give it any other kind of effects. So that's basically what you get with it. All right. Let's check out the Kenobi. All right. All right, we swapped out the emitter section in the center part. You can see how much wider that is. Oh my God. It is what it is. It's got a lot of girth though. All right, it pops out. You got a little blade plug there. Makes the same sound just like the other one. All right. Let's see how this one sounds. All right. There's your hum. Again, not super loud, but not too bad. And then you got the same step, ignition and de-ignition. The switch is a lot easier to push on this one than it was on the Anakin. The Anakin was a little bit stiff. All right, let's see how the smooth swing works on this one. This one seems to catch more often than the Anakin did. All right, so that's pretty cool. That's good. And let's see what you get for effects. Look at that. Seems to work a lot more often. So it may just be that the Anakin that I have right here may be just a little bit on the defective side, who knows? But this one seems to work pretty well for a legacy lightsaber, all right? And that's gonna be it for this one, guys. I think this is a really dope set. I love the box style of it, and that cracked Jedi logo in the center I think is very symbolic and nice. I think that's really cool. It's currently the only way to get the Anakin lightsaber, as was seen in Revenge of the Sith, in a legacy style. So that's really cool. And I like the fact that it plays music and the displayability of the whole thing. It's a really nice set in my opinion. Let me know what you guys think about this one in the comments below. And until next time, may the Force be with you.